Welcome to the World of Warcraft What's Next panel.
Hello, BlizzCon! So, it's such an honor to be here with all of you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for tuning in online. Could not be more excited on behalf of the entire Warcraft team to share with you what we've been working on pretty much since the moment Legion came out. The next chapter in World of Warcraft, Battle for Azeroth. Now, I know every BlizzCon is special, and I'm a bit biased here, but there's something particularly special about WoW expansion announcement BlizzCons. So, this is going to be a good day. So I know you have a lot of questions after what you've seen, and so we're going to try to walk you through a whirlwind tour of what this expansion has to offer. The setting, the story, the characters, the features, the systems, and more. So without further ado, let me introduce our creative director, Alex Afrasiabi, to tell you about the world of Battle for Azeroth. All right.
Thank you, Ian. Nice shirt. This is the new shirt. Hello, BlizzCon. It's good to see you all again. We are here today to talk about the Battle for Azeroth and prepare you for the coming war. By now, we've all seen that incredible cinematic where from the get-go, battle lines are drawn. And what I like best about that cinematic, and it does so many things so well, is that it reinforces the foundations of Warcraft. Because whether we're fighting the Burning Legion, the Scourge, Old Gods, Dragon Aspects, Elemental Lords, or yes, time-traveling orcs, our hearts and minds are with our factions. We do what we do in this world, first and foremost, for the Horde and for the Alliance. Not them. And that makes us, the champions of Azeroth, the greatest hope the world has ever known, and also its biggest threat. But this is WoW. We don't just get to watch awesome cinematics, we get to live them. Because to get to the Battle for Azeroth, you're going to have to go through the Battle for Lordaeron. Like the Broken Shore, we'll pick up where the cinematic left off. And what goes down that day will change Warcraft history forever. Now, some of you might be asking, hey, Alex, why would the Alliance attack the Undercity? It's a good question. It's a good question. Here's a better question. Why would the Horde burn down Teldrassil? Did Teldrassil fall first? Did Teldrassil fall first and lead to the attack on the Undercity? Or was the burning of Teldrassil a response to the bold Alliance attack on Lordaeron? You'll find out. Think about this. The stage is set for an Alliance-controlled Eastern Kingdoms and a Horde-controlled Kalimdor, with one great big sea separating the two continents. Which leads us to our search for allies. In our quest for victory, we will seek out the Kultirians as the Alliance and the Zandalari as the Horde. Coincidentally, both of these nations have extremely powerful navies, which we're going to need to span that great sea. Let me leave you with this thought. No boats. Some boats. Let me leave you with this thought. No matter who fired the first shot, we are in an all-out war. It's our duty as Alliance. That's right. As Horde. To defend our people, our families, and our homes. This is the battle for Azeroth. So to recap, the Alliance and the Horde are in an all-out war. Old hatreds have reignited as both factions strike at each other's hearts. Now, with the world divided, we seek out lost territories and new powerful resources. And with no external threats, we turn our fury on each other. We fight for our faction's survival and our place in this world. And to win this war, we're gonna need all the help we can get, which leads us to find new and old allies alike. And that takes us to Kul Tiras and Zandalar, which opens up 2 new continents to the game, which we're gonna take a look at right now. Woo! All right, starting with Kul Tiras for the Alliance. Kul Tiras was founded 3,000 years ago when a group of Gilneans left the old empire to explore the Great Sea. They came upon this cold, mountainous island, rich in natural resources, and decided to settle in. Now, over the course of the next 2,500 years, the Kul Tirans built the most powerful navy on Azeroth, a navy that the Alliance really, really wants. Today, Kul Tiras is ruled by 4 houses, which we'll find out are in a bit of trouble. And before we're going to get the Kul Tirans to join our side, we're going to need to help them with their problems. Lastly, Kul Tiras is broken up into 3 main regions. We've got Tiergard Sound in the middle, the Drustvar in the southwest, and Stormsong Valley in the north. Let's take a look at the zones of Kul Tiras. All right, first up, we've got Tiergard Sound. So Tiergard Sound sits on an inlet in the middle of the continent, and it connects the Great Sea. It's the main connection point for all of the different zones. Now, within Tiergard, we'll find the capital city of Kul Tiras, Boralis. This will also be the Alliance's main base of operations in the Battle for Azeroth, so this will be your hub. Now, I mentioned that Kul Tiras was ruled by 4 houses. When we get to Tiergard, we'll meet the first of these houses, led by a familiar name, Proudmoore. Meet Catherine Proudmoore, everybody. This is Jaina's mother, and I want to go on record here and just head this off. She is 100% not a Dreadlord. Not. Now, Kul Tirans by nature are monster hunters, specifically big, nasty sea monsters, which has led to a much hardier breed of human, like these big fellas over here. And I also mentioned that the zones each have their own problems. Well, in Tiergard, one of the problems has to do with pirates. Normally, the outlaws of Kul Tiras hang out at the pirate city of Freehold. But in recent months, they've gotten a little bold and have started to attack Tiergard Sound. And we're going to need to have to deal with that. Now, who wants to see a video? Yeah. All right, let's take a look at Tiergard Sound. Woo! Moving on to Drustvar. There's a Q&A tomorrow. You can ask your questions there. Moving on to Drustvar. Drustvar is a forested, mountainous region that's located in the southwest part of Kul Tiras. Lord and Lady Waycrest govern this region, but in recent months, they've been suspiciously absent from public affairs. And this has been a huge cause for concern for the people that call this place their home. Now, this absence has also put a stop to the main contribution that Drustvar makes to Kul Tiras: arms and sausages. I'm honestly not sure what's worse. It feels like sausages is worse. Now, as we're exploring Drustvar and trying to uncover the mystery of the missing Waycrests and restore order and sausages, we'll find that the land is cursed. And you can start that story today on the show floor with a Drustvar playable demo. So after we're done here, make sure to get out there and give it a go. Let's take a look at a video for Drustvar. Last up in Kul Tiras, we've got Stormsong Valley. Now, unlike Tiergard Sound and Drustvar, Stormsong Valley the Kul Tirans, which makes them a very attractive ally to the Horde in this battle for Azeroth. But when we arrive there, we'll find that things are not going great for the Xanilari. And before we can get them to join us, we're going to need to restore some order. Like Kul Tiras, Xanalar is broken up into three main regions. We've got Zuldazar in the south, the swamp of Nazmir in the northeast, and the desert of Vol'dun in the northwest. Let's take a look at the zones of Xanalar. All right, so starting with Zuldazar itself. Zuldazar is the capital city of the Xanilari and also the only safe refuge the Xanilari trolls have in this region. They're being attacked not just from outside their borders, but from within. This will also be the capital of the Horde in this expansion as they try to keep this empire from falling apart. Now, when we first arrive at Zuldazar, we will meet King Rastakhan and his daughter, the mighty Princess Talanji. And with Talanji, we will explore and investigate a potential uprising from within Capital City. And if that weren't bad enough, Blood Troll invaders from the north, from the swamps of Nazmir, are hammering the borders of Zuldazar, making things really hard for the Xanilari. Let's take a look at a video of Zuldazar. Epic. Videos are nice, but they don't even do the actual zone justice. Once you get in there, it's amazing. Okay, on to one of my favorite zones, Nazmir. Now, before the Cataclysm, Nazmir was a lush forest. But when Deathwing broke the world, he shook something loose, and Nazmir started sinking into the sea. Today, it's a wretched, festering swamp, which turns out is the perfect environment for blood trolls to thrive in. The same blood trolls attacking Zuldazar today. Now, to defeat these blood trolls, we are going to need to enlist the aid of powerful Loa. Now, for those of you that don't know, Loa are basically gods to the trolls. Up there, we've got one Samdi, who some of you may know, and Kragwa, the frog Loa, who you'll definitely want to know if you want that sweet frog mount. I know you do. I know you do. Now, as we're digging through the muck in Nazmir, we will uncover ancient Titan secrets and a Titan facility. And inside that facility, there might hold the key to destroying all life on Azeroth, which clearly we do not want. And I hope the Alliance is paying attention here. There are things you're going to need to do as well. And you know what's awesome? Nazmir is playable today on the show floor. So, how'd that get in there? Chris Metzen, good Lord. So, let's take a look at a video of Nazmir. Yeah. All right, last up for Zandalar, we've got the Desert of Vol'dun. Would you believe that Vol'dun was once a vibrant jungle? You probably believe that. It's totally plausible. But all of that changed when the Akir, this mighty, savage group of old god minions, attacked this region thousands of years ago, leaving nothing but desert and ruin in their wake. So, what do the Zandalari do with an uninhabitable desert? Well, they use it to basically send off their criminals to. And most of them die. Most of them. Now, as yes, indeed. As they're even cuter in person. As we explore Vol'dun, we will come across a native race of fox people known as the Volpera, who I know we will be compelled to help because of just how cute and cuddly they are. Just want to eat them up. And Vol'dun's got its share of baddies as well, like these snake men, the Sethrak, who will make sure that your stay here is unpleasant. Let's take a look at a video of Vol'dun. All right. And that was Zandalar. Before I hand off to Ian, I want to take a minute to talk about character stories. In Legion, we did the character story for Illidan, and we really liked how that turned out across the patches. And which, by the way, it's not quite done yet. It'll get there pretty soon. So for Battle for Azeroth, we want to do a lot more of that. We want to involve more characters. So we want to follow the lives of Anduin, the Lion of Stormwind, and Sylvanas as they lead their people through this war. And of course, we're going to adventure with Jaina as she goes to her homeland, Kul Tiras. We'll find out where she's been, because I know you're all asking. Where she is at today, and most importantly, where she's going. What about Thrall? Where is the orc that founded this new horde? What's his place in all of this? And lastly, we're not going to go to the cradle of troll civilization without exploring the story of our favorite troll, Vol'jin. Thank you, everyone. You've been an amazing audience. Ian's up next.
We told you we'd get back to Vol'jin. Thank you, Alex. Okay, so you have just heard all about the world that you're going to be exploring. Let me start talking a bit about how you're going to be exploring it. So just some of the basics first. So as Alex mentioned, we have 6 zones spanning 2 continents. 3 on Kul Tiras, 3 on Zandalar. And because of the nature of the story here, the way you're going to level up, Alliance players will head off to Tiergard initially, Horde players will head off to Zuldazar, and you will level to 120 primarily in your own faction's continent as you learn to understand their problems and solve those problems. We're still going to have the scaling zone tech we had in Legion, so you can pick which of the 3 zones you want to start in, which problem you want to solve first, play your way through those content as you prefer. Now, at max level, the entire world will open up to you, effectively doubling the amount of outdoor space that you'll be actively engaged in when you are 120. Now, it might be easy to lose track as you are dealing with the problems of the Kul Tirans and of the Zandalari. It might be easy to lose track of the larger conflict in which Azeroth as a whole is embroiled. And so just as we had the Garrison campaign in Warlords and the Class Order campaign in Legion, we have two epic Alliance and Horde war campaign arcs that will weave their way throughout the level up experience and beyond, anchoring you in the larger war consuming the world, as well as beginning to lead you to the opposite faction's lands. So you'll start to build up some outposts in Kul Tiras as a Horde player. You'll start to build up some outposts in Zandalar as an Alliance player that will set the stage for the eventual 120 experience when it all opens up. Now, at max level, there will be world quests, there will be emissaries. We're very happy with how this has played out in Legion. We want to continue to build upon it, refine it, learn from what's worked, what hasn't, but that structure is here to stay. Now, let's start talking a little bit about features. So, allied races. So, as we've heard, the lines of battle here have been drawn. It's hard to remain neutral in Azeroth going forward. Alliance and Horde are looking for all the help they can get. And part of what that means is seeking out potential allies, turning to friends that we've been through great hardship together, and seeing if they will join our cause. And you, as a champion of the Alliance or champion of the Horde, are going to be one of those doing that. You will reach out to these allies, see what other problems they have, see if they will join the Alliance, see if they will join the Horde, playing through custom quest content that tells the story of how Thalyssra and the Nightborn come to join the Horde, or how Ilaria and the crack elite squad of elves that she has trained to harness the power of the Void come to make their home in the Alliance, hardening the rift between her and her sister. You will play through those quests, and once you do, you will unlock the ability to make that allied race as a new character across your account. Make them right away. This is something that has much more story context to it. This is something that will be earned. We need to Now, allied races, like regular races, have new racials that are appropriately flavorful for where they're coming from. Varied customization, as makes sense for what the race is. Lightforged Draenei have very do what you can on their behalf, and eventually make your way to join the front of battle at max level. Now, you can race change if you want once you've unlocked them. You can boost an allied race. We don't want to limit those options. If you've played, let's say, a Dwarven Paladin for years, but in your heart of hearts you've always wished you could be a Dark Iron Dwarven Paladin, we don't want to make you make a new character or abandon your main to make that happen. But at the same time, we also want to make sure it doesn't feel like that's the right or only or efficient way to do this. So if you level an allied race from 20 all the way to max, you will unlock a set of heritage armor, a cosmetic appearance that reflects the essence of what it means to be a Nightborn Elf or a Dark Iron Dwarf, that you can show off so that everyone who sees you understands what you've done. So just to sum up here, we have six allied races coming with Battle for Azeroth. But this is a system that's a foundation upon which we can continue to build in the future. Azeroth is full of countless potential allies, and we can use all the help we can get. So we're very excited about this as a starting point for something greater to come. And so for Horde, you will be turning to the Nightborn in the High Mountain, with whom you fought and whom you aided in the Broken Isles, as well as, if you are successful in your journey in Zandalar, the Zandalari Trolls. Meanwhile, the Alliance find fast new allies among the forces of Argus, the Lightforged Draenei, the Void Elves under Ilaria's tutelage, and they will work with Moira to rekindle and bring the Dark Iron Dwarves into the Alliance formally. So I know you caught a quick glimpse of these Allied races during the feature reveal, but let's take a much closer look. Check out this video. So, pretty cool. One nice thing about the cosmetic armor sets, and you saw all those heritage armor sets in that video, is as cosmetic transmog appearances, these are universal. So if you, for example, played a Dwarven caster and always wished you could have a more battle mage type look, doesn't matter if you wear cloth, you can still transmog it to look like that dark runic mail and show that off. So now, I just mentioned that we are inviting players to journey through Azeroth once again, to start off with these Allied races at level 20 and explore. Now, if you've done something like that recently, you've probably noticed the experience is kind of rough around the edges. Now, the content, the world, the stories, those hold up. Those are great. There's humor, there's life there. But the pacing of the experience is all off. If you're trying to play through, let's say, Hillsbrad, you'll quickly find that about halfway through the zone, a lot of the quests in your log are turning green or even gray. On the one hand, all the mechanics of the game are telling you to get out of there, to move along for better rewards, more experience, a place where you belong, while the story is telling you to stay because you want to see what happens next. We want to solve that. Now, in Legion, during the level up experience, we introduced the concept of scaling zones, and that allowed players to pick and choose their way through that experience. So, you have it figured out. I don't even need to give this presentation. But no, you can see where this is going. So we are looking to take that tech and expand it to the entirety of World of Warcraft. Yeah, we are super excited about this too. There'll be a couple of little differences in how it plays out here versus how it did in Legion. So first off, we don't want Westfall to scale all the way up to, let's say, level 110. So within these regions, there are level ranges with minimums and maximum levels for two reasons. If you are a brand new undead, you're a Forsaken starting off in Tirisfal Glades, we think it's important that when you look eastward towards the Plaguelands, there's a little bit of terror there. That's a scary, dangerous place. You're not strong enough to go there. And if you try, Welcome Bear will come out and hug you, and then you'll be back at your graveyard. And that's how it works. On the other hand, if you're a seasoned adventurer returning from a campaign in Northrend, and you come back to Elwynn Forest and find that the wolves and the bandits there are now still an even match for you, that kind of undermines your progression. So we're thinking about a structure more like, imagine Westfall scales from 10 to 60, imagine Burning Steppes scales from 40 to 60. You're never going to out-level the zone while you're in it, but there's still some sense of progression, and once you've moved past the entire expansion, you do feel like you have surpassed it and you are more powerful. Now, speaking of expansions, we'd also like to take a step back from just zone choice and think about how you navigate expansions in the course of leveling up. So if you've leveled alts recently, you know the drill. You hit 58, you go to Hellfire Peninsula, you maybe do a zone and a half or so, depending on how many dungeons you're doing. Then it's off to Northrend. Well, what if you could choose? What if Burning Crusade content scaled all the way from 60 to 80? It's pretty self-explanatory. BC 60 to 80, Wrath 60 to 80. Similarly, Kata 80 to 90. Mists 80 to 90. You can pick one expansion, do most of its content if you want. You can bounce back and forth between the two. It's flexible. The point is player choice. The point is having the experience that you want to have as you're leveling through WoW. And yes, this applies to dungeons, it applies to all the rewards along the way. So yeah, it's awesome to hear the excitement. We are every bit as excited about this. And because it's something that really it's not really an expansion feature, it's just a basic improvement to the game, we want to get this in your hands sooner. So, you may have noticed the patch that just went live was 7.3.2. That was a small infrastructure thing. We have a proper 7.3.5 around the corner. It'll be coming to PTR in just a few weeks, and you will be able to see the beginnings of many of these improvements there. We can't wait to hear your feedback. We want to get this in your hands ASAP.